So in the last lecture, we have discussed the problems related to the inventory model. Okay, right? Now in this lecture, we will go ahead to understand the inventory control system. Okay, so in the classification of an inventory control system, we have discussed that we can classify the inventory models as a probabilistic model and deterministic model. And then further, this probabilistic and deterministic, both the models can be classified as a fixed order system and fixed period system and fixed quantity system. So that two things, two different systems related to the controlling of inventory we have discussed. In detail, we are going to discuss about that in this lecture. So in any inventory control system has an objective to cope up with the situation when there is a lead time or there is a fluctuation in a demand. Okay, so the basic approach to all the stock method is to establish the reorder level. Okay, so reorder level means at what level we have to start or at what level we have to provide the orders to replenish the inventory. So that level we know that, and that ROA level should be at a higher position than the we can say that the safety stock. Okay, so in this inventory control system, most of the time that ROA level plays very much important, right? Very much important role, because when we understand the ROA level and we know that how much lead time is required to get the stock or get the material in the stock, so that lead time will be we can say that that lead time will be considered, and on that basis the order will be provided. Okay, so before reaching the stock level to the safety stock, we will get the order from the customer. Okay, once we will submit the order to the customer when the stock level reaches to the ROA level. Okay, so here in an inventory control system, the most important controlling point is nothing but the ROA level, that is nothing but reorder level. So when the stock level will reach to the ROA level, so it will provide the signal for the replenishment action. It will provide the signal for replenishment action. And what is meant by replenishment actions? So replenishment means finding out or determining the quantity to be ordered. Okay, क्या कितनी quantity आपको order करनी है और वो quantity कब order करनी है. So here the replenishment of the inventory means determining the quantity to be ordered and the time of order. Okay, quantity to be ordered and time of order. Now this inventory control system having the two types. Okay, the first one is a fixed quantity system. It is also called as a Q system. Okay, and the second one is nothing but fixed period system, that is nothing but P type of a system. Okay, so Q type means fixed quantity system, P type means fixed period system. Okay, so this fixed period system also called as a periodic system. So in this lecture we are going to discuss these two replenishment systems in detail. Okay, so fixed order quantity or fixed quantity system also called as a Q type of a system. In this system the order quantity is fixed. Okay, per order how much quantity आपको मंगानी है, so that quantity is fixed and the time will be vary according to the fluctuation in demand. Okay, so जब भी आपकी stock level ROL तक पहुंच जाएंगी, reorder level तक पहुंच जाएंगी, तब आप वो quantity मंगा सकते हैं. So that is nothing but fixed order quantity system. Now what are the characteristics of this fixed order quantity system? Normally the reorder quantity is equal to the EOQ, that is nothing but economic order quantity. जो economic order quantity है उतनी ही आपकी fixed order quantity honi chahiye. Now it will depend upon the demand, the time interval of ordering. Okay, depending upon the demand and the time interval of ordering varies. Okay, then replenishment action is initiated when stock level falls to reorder level. Okay, then safety stock is maintained to account for increasing demand during the lead time. Okay, sometimes what will happen, so the difference when we have placed the order, so that will be considered as a reorder level. Okay, and the safety stock. Okay, the safety stock. So when we are going to place the order and when we will receive the order. So time difference between that two events will be considered as a lead time. Okay, sometimes we know the consumption rate, but sometimes what will happen, so instantaneously we will get the more number of orders from the customer side, and due to that we have to produce the more number of goods. Okay, due to that we need to produce the more number of goods. So here in that time period, if the level or it will if you don't have a buffer stock or a safety stock, so at that time you will not able to fulfill the customer's demand. So this safety stock is maintained. Okay, during the lead time, if you receive more number of orders, and during that period you can able to use that particular safety stock. So safety stock is maintained to account for the increase in demand during the lead time. Okay, getting everyone? Now there are some parameters that we will discuss. So this is the this particular diagram represent the fixed quantity system. Now let us consider that this is the minimum level or a zero level. X-axis represent the time and y-axis represent the stock level. Okay, stock level. Now here this zigzag line represent the demand, okay, or the consumption. Okay, whatever it may be, demand or a consumption. So if it is applicable for the raw material, then this will be the considered as a consumption, and if it is applicable for the finished goods, then it will be considered as a consumption or selling of that particular good. Okay, now the consumption is the stock level is decreasing on a continuous manner. You can see here stock level is decreasing on a continuous manner as the time passes. Okay, so when it will reach to the ROL level, okay, that is nothing but reorder level. So this is the reorder level for your stock. So when it will reach to the reorder level, so now here O1 is nothing but order. We have placed the order. Now to receive that order, some time is required. Okay, to receive that order, some time is required. But during that time period also, the consumption of a goods is going on. Okay, consumption of a goods is going on, and after once we receive the goods in the stock, the action will be replenish action will be completed, and your stock level reaches to the maximum. Okay, your stock level reaches to the maximum. Now here you need to focus on this lead time. Okay, what will be the lead time, and accordingly you have to perform the action of or reorder action. So accordingly this reorder level will be fixed, okay, for a particular stock or for the particular material. So here you should know the consumption rate. Okay, here you should know the consumption rate and what time required to receive that material. Okay, so once here you have placed the order, but this much time period required to receive that particular order. So during that time period also consumption is going on, and once you received the material, okay, because here you have placed the amount equal to the economic order quantity. You have placed the order equal to the economic order quantity, that is Q star or a Q, whatever you want to consider. So the complete inventory will be fulfilled over here, and then once again the consumption is continuous one, so consumption is going on. Okay, so once it will reach to the reorder level, okay, the order will be placed with the economic quantity. Now here what will happen, here it is represented according to our characteristic safety stock, use of safety stock. Now here the consumption rate increased, okay, or there is a problem related to the delivery. So in that case you have a safety stock. Now this level from the base point or from the zero line will be considered as a safety stock. Okay, this much level will be considered as a safety stock. So if the problem will happen for the delivery of a material or delivery of a goods, or your production will not run according to your plan, so at that time this safety stock will be in a work, or it will be used. So here you can see that the level goes to below the safety stock. Okay, the level of the stock or consumption goes below the safety stock. Now here the now order you have placed, and at this location or at this time you will get the delivery of that particular order. So once the replenishment action will begin, and it will reach us to the maximum level. Okay, so your order quantity should be equal to the economic order quantity. Your order quantity should be equal to the economic order quantity. Okay, so this is about the fixed order quantity. Fixed quantity system. Okay, now what are the important parameters related to this replenishment action? First one is nothing but reorder level. कौन सी लेवल आपको reorder level और कहां पे आपको reorder level रखनी चाहिए? So ROL, so it will be equal to m plus l multiply by c. Okay, m plus l multiply by c. So what is mean by m? M is nothing but minimum or a safety stock. Okay, minimum or a safety stock. Then L is nothing but lead time कितना होना चाहिए, कितना है. Okay, so now here you can see that this is the lead time. So lead time, and lead time में consumption कितना है. Okay, so उस lead time में consumption rate कितना है, per day, per hour, per week, per month. So that will be the consumption rate. So L multiply by C. So here your order level ROL which should be equal to minimum or a safety stock plus lead time multiplied by consumption rate. Lead time multiplied by consumption rate. So where M is nothing but minimum or a safety stock, L is nothing but lead time in days oblique weeks oblique months, then C is nothing but consumption rate. Per day kitna consume करे और per week kitna consume करे और per month kitna consume करे. So that is C is nothing but consumption rate. So in this case, in Q type of a system, the reorder quantity should be equal to or will be equal to economic order quantity, should be equal to or will be equal to economic order quantity. And how to determine that economic order quantity, that we have discussed in previous two models. Okay, so EOQ for instantaneous replenishment action and EOQ for gradual replenishment action, that two systems we have discussed related to the EOQ. And this quantity, this reorder quantity in Q type of a system should be equal to EOQ. Now third thing is nothing but maximum stock level. So for a particular material, what should be the maximum stock level in case of a Q type of system? So it should be equal to the safety stock plus order quantity. Okay, safety stock plus order quantity. So capital M, maximum stock level ko hum capital M bolenge. So capital M is equal to small m. Small m is nothing but safety stock level. Okay, small m is nothing but safety stock level, plus Q is your ordering quantity or your EOQ quantity, so economic order quantity. So M plus Q will be equal to maximum stock level. Okay, M plus Q will be equal to maximum stock level. So here M is equal to safety stock, Q is equal to, both are safety stock I have written. So M is equal to M is equal to safety stock, it will be right. And here Q is equal to order quantity. Q is equal to order quantity. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? Okay. Okay. So Q is equal to order quantity. Now, then next important thing is nothing but you required for the calculation of a EOQ, economic order quantity, you required average inventory. So in this case, average inventory can be represented as 1/2 of minimum stock plus maximum stock. Minimum stock plus maximum stock. Now we know that minimum stock level is nothing but small m, and maximum stock level is nothing but capital M. Okay, so capital M, once again capital M is equal to M plus Q. So put up capital M is equal to M plus Q in this equation, so that you will get 1/2 inside the bracket M plus Q. So it is equal to M plus Q by 2. So your average inventory level should be equal to minimum stock plus half of the ordering quantity. Minimum stock plus half of the ordering quantity. Getting everyone? Minimum stock plus half of the ordering quantity. Now, the next thing is nothing but what are the advantages of fixed quantity system? So it is simple one, simple to calculate, or simple to we can say that once you reach to the reorder level, you have to perform the action repeatedly, that you have to provide the orders to the specific customer or specific supplier with a fixed quantity. So we can say that it will be simpler one to understand, and there will not be any hectic work, so it will be considered as cheaper to operate also. Then here the stock control will be accurate one, and this type of systems are mostly useful for the low value items, okay, low value items. So the spare parts which are having the less value, okay, and it does not have that much cost. Such a components, for such a components, this Q type of a system is mostly implemented, okay. And it will be useful to maintain the variety of inventory. So let us consider 1,000 components are there, 1,000 varieties there, 2,000 varieties there. So in that case, this system is very much effective manner, okay, effective. So there are some limitation. So first one is nothing but if you have implemented a Q type of a system, and at a particular time period or particular day, you will come to know that more number of variety of components reach to its reorder level, okay, or ROL level. So the reordering system will feel that the more load on the system. So when it will happen, there will be more load on the system. Then here you need to maintain on a continuous basis the record related to the inventory of all the components, okay. Here you need to maintain the record related to the inventory related to the all the components. So then and then only you are able to place the reorder level, reorder of a particular component, or you will understood the reorder level, okay. So these are the limitations related to the fixed quantity system, okay. Then next type of ordering system, replenishment system, is nothing but periodic review system, or it is also called as a fixed period system, okay, fixed period system, and it is also called as a P type of a system. Now here what is happening, let us consider that after every interval of a time, you are placing the order. After every interval of a time, you are placing the order. So let us consider that particular product need to buy after 15 days, every 15 days, okay. Now here the period is fixed. After 15 days you have to place the order, okay. After 15 days you have to place the order, or after 1 month you have to place the order, okay. So after every month you need to place the order of a particular product, okay, or a particular raw material. So here the period is fixed. Now the quantity changed according to the demand, according to the fluctuation in an inventory, okay. According to that, the quantity is changed, but the ordering period is same one, or difference between two orders in sense of a time is constant one, okay. Difference between two orders in the sense of a time is a constant one, okay, but the quantity is varied, okay. Quantity of a particular order is varied, okay, according to the difference between minimum and maximum level, okay, according to the difference between minimum and maximum level. So here this system has a fixed ordering interval, but size of the order quantity may vary with changes in demand. Inventory position is verified at a prefixed interval, then depending upon the situation, replenishment action is initiated. What we'll do during the particular time period, the inventory level of a particular component will be checked, and if there is a requirement, there is a demand of a product in the market, then and then only the replenishment action will be started. So what are the characteristics of this periodic review system or a P type of system? First one is nothing but order interval is fixed for individual or group of item. Then second one is stock is reviewed at a periodic interval, and quantity Q, which will bring the inventory to maximum level, is ordered. Okay, so these two characteristics are there related to the periodic review system. So now we will understood how these periodic review systems can be implemented in the industries. So let us consider that this is R1, R2, R3. Okay, R1, R2, R3. So difference between two orders in sense of a time is constant one. Difference between two intervals R1 and R2 में जितना difference है, okay, उतना ही difference R2 and R3 में है. Okay, now on x-axis it is represented as a stock level, on y-axis it is represented as a stock level, and on x-axis it is represented as the time. Okay, now the consumption, this zigzag line represent the consumption. Okay, this horizontal line will showcase the minimum stock level or a safety stock level. Okay, once the consumption will begin, okay, consumption is going on. So once it will reach to the at this point where we need to review the ordering quantity, or we need to review the inventory of a particular good. Okay, so here at this point or at this period, the reviewing action will take place, and according to that the order will be placed. Okay, order will be placed. Okay, once the order will be placed, it will require some time to receive that particular order, and then also the consumption is continuous one, and once the material will receive, the inventory will build up. Okay, once again it will, its consumption will begin, and it will reach to the period, reviewing period. At that point the order will be placed to purchase the goods or to maintain the stock. So here once again the review will be taken and the order will be placed. So during that time period the consumption is continuous one, so it will reach to the safety stock. So here whatever the difference is there between the minimum stock level and maximum stock level, that much inventory will be purchased or it will be ordered, and then the inventory level will get increased. Okay, so most of the time the order quantity is equal to the difference between minimum stock level and the maximum stock level. Now here the quantity is not fixed. So if you consider this stock level, so at that time you need to buy only this much quantity. Okay, only this much quantity from this P1 point to this dotted line. Okay, then once you reach to this point, now here you need to buy the difference between this minimum stock level to maximum stock level. So here the quantity will get vary. Now once it will reaches to this level, now here consumption decreases, and now once it will reach to the next interval or time interval or next month, so at this point you need to order very less quantity. Here you can say that this much quantity you need to order. So consumption is continuous one. So here you will receive the order of order to quantity, and the stock level reaches to this level. Okay, so in this manner here the quantity is not fixed. Here only the period of or a reviewing period or the purchasing period or the time interval between two purchase is constant one. Okay, time interval between two orders is constant one. So that is called as a periodic review inventory system, or periodic inventory system, or a P type of a system, or a fixed period system. Fixed period system where this P1, P2, P3 are nothing but review points. Okay, so R1, R2, R3 represent the time interval, constant time interval between the two orders. Okay, now we will discuss the important parameters related to the P type of a system. So here maximum level. Okay, so maximum level, it is sufficient to satisfy the demand during the review period and the lead time. Okay, so review period में demand कितना था और उसका lead time कितना है. Okay, so that should be satisfied with the by the maximum level. So maximum level M is equal to minimum stock plus consumption during the review period and the lead time. Okay, so maximum level is equal to minimum stock plus consumption during the review period and lead time. So capital M will represent the maximum level, which is equal to small m is nothing but minimum stock or safety stock, plus C is the consumption rate or production rate if you consider. Then R is nothing but what? Consumption during the review period, and L is nothing but the not consumption, review period time. Okay, review period time plus L is the lead time. So addition of these two will provide you total time, and C is nothing but consumption rate. So maximum inventory level will be equal to M plus C inside of the bracket R plus L. So what will be the reorder quantity? Okay, so there are two segregation related to reorder quantity. Now if let us consider that you have ordered here. Okay, you have ordered here Now this lead time, LT represent the lead time. So this much time required, this much time is required to receive that order. Now this lead time is less than the review period, Review period means what? The difference between R1 and R2 will be considered as a review period. So this lead time is less than the review period. So in that case, we will need to use the another formula. And let us consider that you have ordered over here, but you received a material after this R2 time period, okay, or R2 level, after R2 level. So here your lead time for receiving the material is more than the review period, okay. Here the lead time is greater than the review period. So for that purpose, we need to consider the different formulas. So here, when lead time is less than the order quantity, Q will be calculated. That is nothing. Q is nothing but ordering quantity. Q will be equal to maximum stock minus stock actually held at the time of a review. Okay. So यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? इस केस में क्या करेंगे आप? So maximum stock कितना है आपका? इतना है. और आपके पास कितना स्टॉक है? So if you draw the perpendicular line from the this level to this level, or from the minimum level to this point, okay. So this much stock level with you. Now you need to order only from P1 to this dotted line. Okay, so this much stock you need to order over here if lead time is less than the review period. If lead time is less than the review period, so this much quantity you need to order. Okay, so that will be equal to Q is equal to maximum stock minus stocks actually held at the time of review. Stock actually held at the time of review. Now second, related to the second variety, that is when lead time is more than the review period. So in that case, you have to consider the maximum stock minus inside the bracket stock on hand plus stock on order. Okay, because during that review period, some orders you have placed, and that order you are going to receive after the completion of a lead time. Okay, so we have to consider that order also when the lead time is more than the review period. When the lead time is more than the review period. So when the lead time is more than the review period, at that time Q is equal to maximum stock minus inside the bracket stock on hand plus stock on order. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt in these two system? One is Q type of a system, and another one is a P type of a system. Okay, so write down inventory control system. Inventory control system. Inventory control system. Inventory control system. The inventory systems are developed. The inventory systems are developed. The inventory systems are developed. The inventory systems are developed to cope with the situation. To cope with the situation. The inventory systems are developed to cope with the situation where the demand or lead time or both will fluctuate. Where the demand or lead time or both will fluctuate. Full stop. Next one. The basic approach to all stock control methods. The basic approach to all stock control methods is to establish. The basic approach to all stock control method is to establish a reorder level. A reorder level which when reached would indicate the signal for the replenishment action. Would indicate the signal for the replenishment action. Full stop. The replenishment of the inventory. The replenishment of the inventory. The replenishment of the inventory means. The replenishment of the inventory means determining the quantity to be ordered, determining the quantity to be ordered, and the time of ordering, determining the quantity to be ordered and the time of ordering. Okay. Then basically there are two types of replenishment system. Basically there are two types of replenishment systems. First one is fixed quantity system. First one is fixed quantity system in bracket Q system, and second one is fixed period system in bracket P system. Q system and P system. Okay, write down the heading as fixed order quantity system. Fixed order quantity system. Fixed order quantity system. In that you can write in this system, the order quantity in this system, the order quantity is fixed. In this system, the order quantity is fixed, and ordering time varies, according to the fluctuation in demand, and ordering time varies according to the fluctuation in demand. Characteristics of this system. The characteristics of this system are, first one, reorder quantity is fixed. Reorder quantity is fixed, and normally it is equal to EOQ. Reorder quantity is fixed and normally it is equal to EOQ. Second one, depending upon the demand, comma, the time interval of ordering varies. The time interval of ordering varies. The time interval of ordering varies. Third one, replenishment action is initiated. Replenishment action is initiated when stock level falls to reorder level. Replenishment action is initiated when stock level falls to reorder level. When stock level falls to reorder level in bracket ROL. Then fourth one, safety stock is maintained. Safety stock is maintained to account for increase in demand. Safety stock is maintained to account for increase in demand during lead time. Okay. So next, write down parameters to operate the system. First one, reorder level in bracket ROL. So ROL is equal to small m plus L multiplied by C. ROL is equal to small m plus L multiplied by C, where m is nothing but minimum or a safety stock. M is nothing but minimum or safety stock. Then next, capital L is lead time. In bracket, it will be in days, or it will be in weeks, or it will be in months. Then capital C is equal to consumption rate. So it may be per day, per week, per month, according to lead time. What lead time you are considering? If lead time is in days, then consumption will be in per days. If lead time is in weeks, then consumption will be in per week. If lead time in per month, if lead time in months, then consumption rate will be in months. Then second thing, reorder quantity, it should be equal to EOQ. That is economic order quantity. Then third one, maximum stock level. In bracket capital M. So maximum stock level should be equals to the safety stock plus order quantity. It equals the safety stock plus order quantity. So therefore capital M should be equal to small m plus capital Q. Capital M is equal to small m plus capital Q. Therefore, M is equal to safety stock. M is equal to safety stock and Q is equal to order quantity. Then fourth one is nothing but average inventory. Average inventory. So average inventory is equal to 1/2 inside the bracket minimum stock plus maximum stock. 1/2 minimum stock plus maximum stock. So minimum stock will be represented as small m and maximum stock will be represented as capital M. And capital M is nothing but small m plus Q. So we'll get is equal to 1/2 inside the bracket small m plus capital M, which is equal to 1/2 inside the bracket of small m plus Q, and it is equal to m plus Q by 2. M plus Q by 2. Okay, so draw this figure. Draw this figure, everyone. I will provide 2-minute time period. Fixed order quantity system. Okay, over. Now next is advantages. Advantages: simple and cheaper to operate. Simple and cheaper to operate. The next, stock control is accurate. Stock control is accurate. Third one, suitable for low value items. Suitable for low value items. Then fourth one, appropriate variety of inventory. Appropriate variety of inventory maintained within the organization. Then limitations, load on reordering system. Load on reordering system. If many items reaches ROL at the same time. If many items reaches ROL at the same time. Then second one, stock level record and usage rate data are to be maintained. Stock level records and usage rate data are to be maintained. Okay, so fixed period system or fixed periodic review system. Periodic review system. In that you can write it is also called fixed periodic system or P system. It is also called fixed period system or P system. This system has a fixed ordering interval. This system has a fixed ordering interval, but the size of the order, quantity, may vary with changes in demand. But the size of the order quantity may vary with changes in demand. With changes in demand. Then inventory position is verified. Then inventory position is verified at prefixed interval. Inventory position is verified at prefixed interval. Then depending upon situation, replenishment action is initiated. Replenishment action is initiated. The characteristics of this system are first one, order interval is fixed. The order interval is fixed for individual or a group of items. Order interval is fixed for individual or group of items. Then second, stock is reviewed at periodic interval. Stock is reviewed at periodic interval. The stock is reviewed at periodic interval. The stock is reviewed at periodic interval. And quantity Q, which will bring the inventory to maximum level, is ordered. Which will bring the inventory to maximum level is ordered. Okay, so draw this diagram. Okay, over. Then operating parameters to operate the system. Here maximum level in bracket capital M, it is sufficient to satisfy demand during review period and lead time. Maximum level is equal to M, maximum level in bracket M, which is equal to minimum stock plus consumption during the review period and lead time. So difference between two time period or two orders will be considered as a review period. Okay, and lead time means when your order placed and the order received. So time interval between these two events will be considered as a lead time. Okay, so it is sufficient to satisfy demand during review period and lead time. So maximum level M is equal to minimum stock plus consumption during the review period and lead time. So capital M is equal to M plus C multiplied by R plus L. M is equal to, capital M is equal to small m plus C inside the bracket R plus L. Then the second operating parameter is reorder quantity. Reorder quantity. There are two parts of reorder quantity or two segments. First one is when lead time is less than order quantity. When lead time is less than order quantity, at that time we have to consider the order quantity Q is equal to maximum stock minus stock actually held at the time of a review. Stock actually held at the time of a review. And the second one is when lead time is more than review period. When lead time is more than review period. So in that case, Q is equal to maximum stock minus Q is equal to maximum stock minus inside the bracket stock on hand plus or stock on hold or hand, anything you can consider, stock on hand plus stock on order. Okay, stock on order. Q is equal to maximum stock minus inside the bracket stock on hand or stock on hold plus stock on order. Okay. Then next point, I will take 10 to 15 minutes more to cover up this analysis, ABC analysis, which is our last point of chapter. So I will extend this lecture up to 3:15. Okay, and you will get 15 minutes break afterward. Okay, so here I will not provide any write-up part. I will explain the things about the ABC analysis. You will get more things. Now, everyone knows that in the industry there are thousands of a component. Let us consider the Tata Motor industry or any car industry, or if you consider any two-wheeler manufacturing industry. So if you take any big component, there are thousands of components of related to that particular product. Okay, but whether you know that the 5% of a components only having the 80% of a price of that particular product. Let us consider a particular component. A vehicle is having 1,000 component. Out of that 1,000 component, only 10 to 15 components are like that way. So if that bike is having the price of 1 lakh or 1 lakh rupees required to produce that bike. Okay, so then out of that 1,000 components required to produce that bike, only 5 to 10% components in such a manner that which will consume the 80% price. Okay, so out of 1 lakh rupees, 5 to 10% component required 80% of a price or 80% of a expenditure. Okay, 80% of expenditure, and remaining 20% expenditure required for 90% of a component. Okay, remaining 20% only expenditure required for remaining 80 to 90% component. Okay, so this is the situation. So let us consider your TV also consider. So in TV or in car or in a refrigerator, so there are only 5% components are there which consume at least minimum 80% of amount, and remaining components consume the 20% of amount in that particular product. Now, what is the ABC analysis? Now here ABC analysis tries to segregate the product and tries to provide the attention according to the consumption and according to the valuation of the product. Okay, or according to the valuation of material of that particular product. Okay, so here most important thing is nothing but Pareto principle is implemented. So Pareto principle is based on a 20-80 rule. Okay, 20-80 rule. So 20% of a component in a particular product are more valuable. Okay, or which consume 80% of a money. Okay, or expenditure, and 80% of a component in a particular product are in such a manner that they consume only 20% of money. So we have to provide 80% attention to the 20% component. Okay, we have to provide the 80% attention to the 20% component and the 20% attention to the 80% component. Okay, getting my point? We have to provide the 80% attention to the 20% component which are more valuable. Okay, or which are having the highest priority. Okay, so to that component we have to provide 80% attention, and 20% attention we have to provide the less valuable components. So when this thing will be applicable in the industry, at that time most of the problems related to the material handling or material inventory will get reduced. So here every industry will not provide equal attention to all the materials. Okay, or every industry it is not able to maintain all the records or all the inventory levels for all the components. Okay, so and it is not desired for the industry. So here this ABC analysis tries to provide more attention to more valuable goods. Okay, here the ABC analysis provides more attention to the more valuable goods and less attention to the less valuable goods. So in ABC analysis, now once this Pareto principle 20-80 principle is applicable for the inventory control, so in that case it is called as a ABC analysis. Okay, in that case, it is called as a ABC analysis. Now, here the goods are segregated in a 3 categories. Okay, goods are segregated, or the raw materials or the products which are required to produce the product. Okay, semi-finished products or spare parts which are required to produce the product. So the inventory of such a product is segregated into 3 parts. Okay, A, B and C. Okay, A class, B class and C class. So A class items are having most priority, then B class items are having moderate priority, and C class items are having the less priority. Okay, so this classification will useful to pay right attention to the particular component. Okay, right attention to the particular component. So right attention means what? Here we need to provide maximum attention to the A class category items, and moderate attention to B class items, and we can say that the less attention to the C class items. So now here this classification is done on the basis of an expenditure on that particular products. Okay, so A class items are those items which are having 5 to 10% of a total items. So out of all the items, 5 to 10% items are to be considered as a class items, because they are having requirement of a 70 to 75% of a money spending, or on that items 70 to 75% expenditure is done. Now these items require rigid and strict control. Now because more expenditure on these particular items, so for that purpose here you require strict control over this inventory of these particular items, and need to be stocked in a smaller quantity. Now here the cost is maximum 1. So if any problem is happened related to that, so the losses should be minimum level. So we have to maintain that products which are having 5 to 10% of valuation or quantity out of all the components, and 70 to 75% of expenditure need to do to purchase that component or to buy that component. So these components we need to purchase in a smaller quantity. Okay, and these and on a regular basis. Okay, we require that component, but we need to purchase in a smaller quantity on a regular basis. Now B class items generally consist of a 10 to 15% of a total items. Okay, 10 ते 15% पर्यंत ते total items असतात, and they consume the expenditure up to 10 to 15% only. Okay, now here these items are purchased on an intermediate basis, and their control should be in between A and C level. Okay, their control should be in between A and C level, where A items require strict control or rigid control, and C items does not require that much control, or they can ordered. C type of items are ordered in a bulk quantity at a one time only. So for the C type of item we did not require that much control, but for the A type of item we required maximum control, because the more cost is involved in that particular A type of items. So for A type we required maximum control. Now B type of items are consuming 10 to 15% of expenditure, and they required their quantity also in between 10 to 15% of a total variety, so that they required moderate attention, and they required intermediate control over the inventory level. Then as the C class item, these C class items are nothing but 70 to 80% of all the items. 70 to 80% of all the items are C class items. Okay, 80% of total items, these should be considered as a C class items, and they consume only 5 to 10% of we can say that the expenditure on the inventory. Now here you did not require so much control over this particular item. These items are purchased in a bulk at one time only. Okay, at one time only, or we can say that they are reviewed quarterly. Okay, after one quarter how much quantity is required, after second quarter how much quantity is required, whereas B class items required to review after every 15 days. Okay, or after every month, And whereas A class items are reviewed every 1 week. Okay, after every week, A class items are reviewed because A class items require more attention. Okay, now these are some of the we can say that policies one can implement to segregate the items and to provide the priority for those items. Okay, so here A class items, high value items will be considered, B class items, moderate value will be considered, and C class items, low value will be considered. And how, on which basis? Their price and their expenditure. On this basis, this classification is done. Okay, so for A class item, we required a tight control on stock levels, whereas B class items we required moderate control, and for the C class items we required the less control. Then here for the A class items we required to maintain low safety stock. Here B class item we required medium safety stock. Then for C class item we required large safety stock. Okay, then this A class items are need to order frequently. B class items need to order less frequently as compared to A class item. C class items are ordered in a bulk. Okay, so bulk ordering. Now here for the A class item, there is a individual posting, individual position is provided in a storekeeper. Okay, for the B class item also there is an individual position in a storeroom. But for the C class item, there is a bulk position. Means what? We know that in one of the bucket, or in one of the sleeve, all the items are placed. Okay, so here for the A class item, weekly control statement is required. Weekly statement of that particular items will be taken and analyzed. Then here for the B class, the review is taken after every 1 month, and for the C class item, review is taken after quarter. Okay, so quarter means after 3 months. Okay, now this A class, we did not want to take the risk for A class items. So for that purpose, this A class items are purchased from variety of sources. Okay, so procured from multiple sources. Now B class items purchased 2 or more reliable sources. So up to 2, or we can say that 4 or 5 sources are there. So from that sources we can purchase this B class item. Whereas C class item, only 1 to 2 suppliers are there. So for the C class item, then here for the A class item, continuous efforts to reduce the lead time. Here lead time we want to reduce. Then moderate efforts are taken, and for the C type of items, minimum efforts are taken. Now what you understood here, the understood point is that 20-80 principle, most important 20-80 principle. 20% components are the more valuable components, and 80% components are the less valuable components. And we have to provide 80% attention to 20% component, and we have to provide the 20% attention to the 80% component. And for that purpose, we have done this classification. And if you apply this ABC classification in the industry, then most of the problems related to the material requirement are get finished. Okay, or are be solved. Okay, then the next point is safety stock. What is meant by safety stock? The additional stock of a material to be maintained in order to meet the unanticipated increase in demand arising out of the uncontrolled factor. Okay, so जब भी मार्केट में कोई तो uncontrolled thing हो जाती है, जो हमने anticipate नहीं किए, वो हो जाता है, उस टाइम में ये सेफ्टी स्टॉक आपके लिए उपयोग में आ सकता है. So now let us consider that the corona cases are going to rise. So maintaining the safety stock of masks, maintaining the safety stock of sanitizer is the must thing nowadays, because afterward, if it will rises once again in India, and then it will be difficult to get these things from the market once again. So my advice is to you that maintain the proper stock of masks and hand sanitizer with you. Okay, so thank you. So we have finished this chapter. We have covered all the points related to the chapter. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask now only. Is there any doubt, any question? Then you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box. Okay.